What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Acura Audio Garage. I totally spaced and realized that I never made a backup camera video for the MDX. So if you want to add a backup camera to your MDX, this is how you would do it. I'm in the middle of filming how to upgrade the camera, so I have some disassembly done. I'm going to run video for the disassembly from that. The rest of the disassembly I haven't gotten to yet, but ultimately, if you watch the other videos, there's going to be some parts of this video and that video and vice versa. But first, we remove the cover. Then we need to get to our reverse light. I recommend you tap this one. Brown is going to be reverse. Black is going to be ground. And you can just pull this here. Come on. Oh, man, it's really in there. But this has a release trigger right here. You'll pull that back. You'll loosen this. It will strip this. That'll give us ground and reverse trigger. And then for the camera, you have a different couple camera options. I was just talking about them in the other video. You have the license plate light camera and the license plate frame camera. So this goes where the light goes for the license plate light that shines light to show your license plate in the dark. This goes behind the license plate and the camera kind of gets in the way of the latching mechanism. They're both the same camera, so they have the same resolution. You can do parking lines or no parking lines with either one. It's just this frame. This is adjustable. This one's not adjustable. So it's up to you, whatever camera choice you want to go with. Reverse is going to be right here, ground's going to be right here. Then we have to snake our wire in this gap, come out of here, into here, down to the cabin, and so on. But I'll continue the rest of the video and I'll show you the parts that you need to know. It's very simple to install a backup camera here. If you do this, you will have to drill a hole, or if you have the factory backup camera, you can put a grommet here and pass your wire through here. I've removed this camera already, so that's why it looks like there's something missing there. The factory camera is over here on my bench. It works, it just sucks, and we have replaced it in our other video. No matter what, we're gonna have to take this rear deck lid off. It's not too hard. It's really just a bunch of clips. You're gonna start with this. Come on. So this just has these clips right here. And then we're gonna move on to this piece. This does have a little bit of a stronger clip, but again, just comes right off. And then here, same thing. You're just gonna pull, and that comes right off. So this has no screws, but these lights you do want to unplug. So either a panel tool or something, you're gonna jam right in this little groove right here and pop the light off. And then here's the connector. It just has a little tab. Press the little tab down, and there you go. So I'll show you the tab one sec. So here it is. Push down, pull the light out. Same thing with the other one. You want to come over here and get this. Come on. There we go. And then unplug. Okay. Now the next part of this is going to be right here. This, you're going to stick your pry tool and pop it out. I pre-popped mine so it's easier to show you on video, but it's just going to pop out. It just has clips and then one more connector. If you don't have the power lift gate, you won't have this, but there might be something here that you need to remove, so just be aware of that. Now with all that out, I'm just gonna pick this little side at the top, a corner, and begin prying down. It's all clips, so oh man, they are gonna be stubborn, but it's gonna be, there we go, pretty easy to get off. No screws, just all clips. I'm gonna put this right here so I can show you. So just a variation of different clips all around it, but no actual screws. So in order to install this camera that clips into the license plate light housing, you're gonna need to remove this. To remove this cover, it's just a matter of getting these 5 screws out, and then it'll come down and we can slide our camera in. So after you add the foam padding to the little bracket, now you need to take the factory bracket off. The way that this comes off is it has a little push tab right here, and you're just gonna compress this just enough to get it to come down and be loose. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it on camera. I'm just gonna swap and I'll show it to you. This has 2 pieces. This lip right here slides over, and then this clips in place. You know you've done it right because it is not going to go anywhere. It's nicely in there and clipped in. If you're going with the license plate light camera, it is tricky to slide this back in. You're gonna go underneath first and then come over. It's gonna take a little bit of force. I'll get it done, but Just letting you know it's tricky. The license plate frame camera is a little bit easier to install because you don't have to deal with this, but you do have to drill a hole to get the camera wire through here, and that could be a little bit more involved than someone would like to be. So I find this easier, no drilling, nothing. You're just taking the cover off, putting the cover back on, and running your wire. I peeled back the little sleeving, got my wires exposed. Now you're either going to pick up wires from us or a universal camera, and ultimately you're going to end up with a red and black. You're going to go red to brown, black to black. Yours might look like this, or they might be attached to the wire. Either way, red to brown, black to black. I'm going to splice them in now. I'm going to splice them in up here. I'm going to peel back this insulation, peel back the insulation on this wire, wrap it around, zip tie it. So here it is. Again, black to black, red to brown. And for my instance, I soldered it just to be safe. Now I'm going to put a tape and zip tie to release the pressure. Then I'm going to zip tie this all the way down, and then we'll start snaking it. So this is all put together. Depending on your camera, you might have something like this where the camera has these two connections, and then you'll have to connect the barrel connection to the red and the RCA to the yellow. In our case, we just have this little 4-pin connector that I already hooked up. So I slide it inside. It has 2 arrows that line up. I don't know if you can see that. And now I'm just going to zip tie this in place. Then we'll get to the most tricky part, which is snaking this wire where it needs to go. Our wire is zip tied. I have some to cut still, but I just wanted to show you the path I took. So came from here, this way, down this line, across this, blah, 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 to here. Now I have to snake into here, out of this, and then into here. These are just rubber grommets, so you can literally just pull them out with your fingers, just like that. Or you can use a pry tool, plastic pry tool. The biggest, toughest thing is going to be getting inside of this and massaging the wire through. Snake this wire through this boot and in the car, really, to make your life easier. You want to pick up a zip tie, 36-inch zip tie. You get these on Amazon. You can get them at Home Depot if you need it today. And then you want some multi-purpose lubricant or some silicone lubricant. This is really what's going to help you. So in here, this is made of silicone or some plastic. So we're going to spray actually a little bit into the boot. Let me see if I can get, yeah, so a little bit into the boot. It's tough to see, but into there. And then we're going to massage it all around because we want it to come down. We just don't want any wire to get caught by this, and then you're stuck pulling wire. The other thing is to make sure that the RCA makes it. You want to make a really good incline like that. You don't want to expose the tip because it's going to bend. You make a nice little incline so it can slide right through anything that you need to slide it through. And the first one is pretty simple. You're just going to go in here. You're going to push it in. You're going to get some resistance. It's just a matter of playing around with it. Eventually, you'll get through, and then you see I just got through, and I could see with my finger already. So a little bit of wrestling, but now I got it out the other side. So I'm just going to pass it through here first. Here you don't really need any silicone lubricant. You just need to get it through the hole. And the hole's big enough to run the wire. It's not going to be a problem. You do want to be careful back here. You don't just want to yank this way. You want to use your finger to push like this. I'm not sure how to explain that, but basically by pushing that way, you're pulling the wire that way first and then towards you, so you're not scraping it on anything or getting it caught somewhere. So just gonna finish snaking all of this, and then we'll get through this boot. You could see it's shiny from the stuff, which is great. We're gonna want to come in one of the sides. So, oh no, that's not good. So look, from just use of time, this has started to split. Can you see that on camera? Right here, this wire has split. So I'm just gonna fix that real quick. That wasn't us, I didn't do anything. This is just from time and time again, from opening and closing. The MDX actually has an issue with this in other areas. So I never knew about this, but your driver's door, if you ever have a switch, speaker not working, it could be the driver's door harness. From it opening and closing, eventually it breaks. All right guys, upon further examination, it actually has double sleeving. So it's not the end of the world, but I will wrap it when I'm done. But I'm gonna show you now how to get in here. So I'm gonna come in from an angle like this, and now you can see I'm right here right now. You can see it's poking through. You're gonna push down there and then push here at the same time to continue to move it forward. You're gonna push in, massage down, keep pushing in, keep massaging down. Eventually, now I'm right here, and this is the tricky part. This has tape that's stopping it from coming all the way through, but I think the tape's on the other side, so I should be able to. This is where you're gonna find out if you crossed any of these wires. You don't want to be across any of these wires, because when you go to pull, it's gonna make it really hard. But right now I'm just gonna pull a little bit. I think I'm good, but this is what's gonna let us know for real. And now before it goes in, you just want to spray some silicone lubricant on this. Be better than me, cover your seat, but this is our demo car, so it doesn't matter. But you want to make sure this is fully lubed up and shiny. And now I'm gonna start pulling it through. I'm gonna try to get this on camera, but you're gonna have to massage it as well. All right, guys, and I got the head through, and I didn't do any damage to our harness here or anything. And it's really just about that silicone lubricant and really good tape job. So now I can just finish pulling my wire, and then I'm gonna snake my wire into here next, but we'll cover that after I put this all together. Now we have to snake the wire into the cabin, into this hole. Now you can get to this hole from the inside pretty easily. That's not the problem. The problem is getting the wire either across this way, down, or however you want to do it. If this was a professional install that you brought the car to us for, we would disassemble all of this and partially some of this to snake the wire down and underneath and through to the other side. In this case, this is a DIY, so we're going to do it the easy way or the hack way. I don't know, however you want to call it, but this will keep the camera wire safe, and that's really all you care about. You don't want it to get pinched. You're not going to see it. You're not going to zip tie it along the way till it gets about over here, but ultimately this will work fine. You don't have to worry. I don't recommend this with any power cable, only with cameras, because it's not that big a deal. If they pinch, you can just fix it. If you want to see how this comes off, it's the exact same as the other side. We showed you how the other side comes off in the video for the subwoofer. So if you want to see how that comes off, check out the subwoofer video. Show you how to remove that entire panel. It is a pain in the ass. It is going to take you some time. So if you want to save that time, you might want to do it this way. To do it this way, we're going to pull this off. Literally, you just reach in and pull it off. And then we're going to pop this up. This you can start from different areas. I find that the easiest is on the edges. You just kind of got to get your finger in there, or if not, you get a pry tool. This one was really stubborn. I had to go get a pry tool to get it started, but I did start this side, and now I can just continue with my hand just pulling up, and it should come up. It does have a couple clips to make sure the clips come with it, and the reason we did that is so that we can free up more of this, so we can flex this a little bit. It is tough. It's barely gonna give, but this is the area where you want to open up right around here, because that's the area where our snake should come out the other side. Now what we're going to do is here, you want to make sure your hands are clean. You don't want to dirty this. You're going to stick your finger in between here, and this has little clips. You just need to loosen those two clips enough so that you can play with this here to see your snake. There's an airbag right there, so you want to be real careful. This, if you're yanking on this, this is going to break. This has a clip, a collapsible clip that's for the airbag. So when you break those clips, you can fix them, but if you break them all the way, you're going to need to replace them. They do sell them. You can get them on Amazon or the dealer. But ultimately, we're going to say that ours is broken. This car was in the crash before, but yours isn't broken. You don't want to pull and pull here. All we want to do is use this little crevice right here to snake our wire in and then push our wire down. Now, this is the MDX with navigation, so we do have an extra fuse box back here. I don't know if every single MDX has this fuse box, but if you do, it's a big cheat because you can now see the snake here. But if you don't have that fuse box, you're going to get it down, and I'll show you the way of what I'm talking about. So we're going to pull this rubber off. And none of these rubbers have adhesive, they're just pushed into place. And that's going to allow us to do this so that we can look in there. Other thing you're going to need in this whole process is a good light. so you can clearly see what you're doing. Here you can see my green clip came off, so I'm going to need to fix that green clip before I put it back. But now I'm going to start pushing my wire in. First part is I want to go this way, so from here that way, so I can get my wire right here this way. Okay, I'm in some. Now I'm going to look with the light, which is really what is going to tell me where it is. Again, I hear it, but I don't see it. So the reason why you want a zip tie, so you could do things like this. So in this situation, I need to bend about 90 degrees. So this isn't going to bend 90 degrees per se, but it'll go close. And you see that little bend? That helps me a lot when I turn this corner to get it exactly where I need it to get it to. I see it now. It's just a matter of turning it the right way. So it took me some time and some messing around, but you definitely can do it. You want to be behind the airbag. Notice how I'm behind it. Now I'm just going to pull the rest of my wire through. You want to make sure you're behind the airbag. You don't want to impede the way of the airbag at all. So I put this back. This is fully seated. This one up here is fully seated as well. And now my wire is right there. I haven't done any damage to this. It's not dirty or anything. Now, because I pulled this, I can use that to get my wire behind it and bring it down, and then I can cross it that way. Alright guys, this is going to be super hard to catch on camera, but you want to be behind the seatbelt. So I'm like bringing this out even more so you can see the black wire. There you go. That little slither of wire is behind that metal hook, and then it's behind this. Come on. It's behind this metal mechanism here. So basically, if you're not careful the way you run it, when this closes and shuts, this might catch the wire. This mechanism, this metal rod right here, might catch the wire and pinch it. So you don't want that. So just make sure you run the wire carefully down. Now it's right here, and now I can run it across. You're gonna pop this cover off, take this carpet off. Come on, take this carpet right off, and then you're gonna run your wire down through this crevice. You're gonna snake it, and then your snake is gonna end up right over on this side. Down here, these just have clips, so you're just pushing off, and now I can pull the rest of my wire, and then from here on it's easy sailing. I'm just gonna zip tie it here a few places so that it doesn't get pulled or disconnected anywhere. Depending on what you're doing, your next steps are gonna be different. If you're doing a new aftermarket radio with the backup camera, then you're gonna run your wire up this way, across, and behind your radio. I'll show you that when we do the complete install video for the aftermarket radio on the navigation system. That's coming next. I'll show you how to hook it up. I'm going to show you a dummy way to hook it up now, just so you have reference and I can finish the video. No matter what, we're going to be taking this cover off, and this cover is just going to come up with a little bit of prying as well. So just like this cover comes off, and come on, right here is where it crosses over and under, but you don't need to take this panel off to cross over and under. If you want to, you can, but this is where you're going to snake the wire up this way and across. So no matter what, this panel's got to come off. To get through this panel, you're just going to pull this rubber coating off and slide my snake to the other side. So just like this, you're snaking your wire, and this edge you're putting in the snake, and then on the other side your snake will come here, and then you're just going to pull it through. When you go to install the backup camera to connect it to your radio, it's going to be radio specific, but I can tell you most of them say reverse. Chinese ones will say back, some will say reverse control, other ones will say reverse, and they'll be different colors. Sometimes they'll be pink, sometimes they'll be orange, sometimes they'll be orange black, sometimes they'll be purple. I can tell you on your name brand radios, they're usually purple white. So Pioneer is going to be purple white. Kenwood, I believe, is purple white as well. Alpine used to do orange white. They've changed to purple white on the newest version of their radios. JVC, same thing, purple white. It's usually purple white, but your Chinese and your whacked out radios have different colors. I think on the power acoustic radio I'm about to show you it is pink, but we'll verify that in a second. So here I have my aftermarket radio. In the back of my aftermarket radio, I have a harness that says back control right here. It's pink. This is where the red wire is going to go. So let me just show you that. And this pink wire is going to get hooked up to this red wire right here. So pink that says back control to red. Then this RCA is going to plug into the back of my radio under our cam, which is this bottom right port right here. So the radio replacement video isn't done yet. We're doing the amplifier video next. So we're leaving the factory radio for now, but I want to finish the camera video so you have an idea how to hook this up. So like I said before, this has a pink wire that says back control. Yours is either going to be pink, purple, white. Alpine likes to use yellow, white. Different colors are going to say reverse, they're going to say back, they're going to say reverse gear input. They'll have different names. Ultimately, this is the backup trigger. So when you're in reverse, that wire needs to see 12 volts so that the screen auto changes from whatever you're on to show the reverse camera. And then in this particular radio, it says R cam right here for the rear view camera input. This is how you make the connections. And I'm going to show you now what it's going to look like. So there's the view of the backup camera, guys, on your aftermarket radio, and that's all it's going to take to hook it up. Now, if you want to do a more complex installation where you want your camera always on, or you want to be able to hit the camera button and see the camera, this isn't exactly what to follow, but it gives you a good guide on where to find your reverse trigger and then how to run the wire. Everything else, if you're going to do a more complicated backup camera installation, you're going to have to either follow the instructions that come with your camera or improvise and figure out what to do. I can tell you that normally if you're doing an always on installation, you're going to grab power behind the radio. So the red wire behind the radio that you normally hook up for accessory, that'll be your power wire for your camera, and then you'll have to ground your camera somewhere in the back. Or certain Boss radios and other radios, even Kenwood now has a camera power wire, so you can use those to power the camera. So it can get real complex, but if you just want a backup camera that works when you go in reverse, then this is perfect to follow. That's going to wrap up the video, guys. I appreciate it if you gave the video a like. Thanks.